Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guroho Shri Yotapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vancha kalpatarubhayascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Hari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you all for joining. Laksh, Mataji Prabhu, Vaibhav, Shito, Hare Krishna, Priyanka. And for those who joined online, if there's too much noise, we can always close the door. But for now, I think we should be okay. I think we can survive without it. We'll just let it go. For those who joined online as well, I cannot see you for now, but do welcome. Thank you so much for joining this second class of this Bhakti Sastri. There we go. Krishna Varnam, Adya, Rishi, Tathagat, Mohit, few people I just can't see. Thank you for joining. So last time we started off the semester 1 of Bhakti Shastri consists of 2 books, which is Ishopanishad and Nectar of Instruction. We have started off with Ishopanishad. Last time we read 3 verses from Ishopanishad. First was the invocation verse. The second one we read was the Ishavasyam Idam Sarvam. And then we also read the second verse, which is, anybody remember? Kurvaneveha Karmani. So basically the invocation verse talks of Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam. That is everything that comes from the complete whole is complete. That is, Krishna is the complete perfection. And so whatever comes from Krishna was perfect. We discussed in terms of how Krishna is perfect, how the material nature is perfect, how the jivas are perfect. But it is just the incompleteness becomes when the jiva is unable to realize the complete whole. And then the second verse was Ishavasyam Idam Sarvam, that everything animate or inanimate belongs to Krishna. And we should use, consume and enjoy that is set aside for us, knowing well to everything to whom everything belongs. And that is true also. I will not go too detail. We did discuss that. And then the second thing is Kurva Neveha Karmani. It says that this is the only way of living in this world. And one may aspire to live for hundreds of years if one lives in the Ishavasya consciousness, that I live in this world that belongs to God, and I am here for a transient time. And when I have that particular consciousness, I can aspire to live happily for hundreds of years in this world, and I'm not bound by the laws of karma. The third one, actually, the third verse, did we do? Yes, we did, right? Asurya nama te loka anvena tamasavrita. Yes. So we did the third verse as well, which is Asurya nama te loka. It's mentioned. Anvena tamasavrita tamste pretyabhi gachanti yeke chatma hanojana. We discussed what is Atma Ha or Atma Hana means. Because we mentioned, Gita mentions that the soul can never be perished. The soul can never die. It is just the body that dies. But then when this verse mentioned the killer of the soul, how does it mean? And we discussed that at length, that it is not the soul that is killed. Soul can never be killed. But the soul is almost dead to itself by being in the material world. And you have no, because conditioned souls walk this earth with having no idea that I am spirit or Atma. And so that is what we discussed. And it is mentioned about how those who are the killers of their own soul, they go into the darkest regions of existence. So we discussed, or we stopped at that. Let's do the verse number 4 today. we bet. Kindly repeat after me. Anejadekam manaso javiyo Naina deva apnuvan purvamarsha. I'm sorry, I'll go a little slow. Tadhavatonyaan atyeti tishta. Tasmin apo matarishva dadati. Laksh, if you can grab the mic and do the translation, I'll give it to Mataji. Sorry, Mata, I need your name. Prajakta and Sanket. Thank you. If you can scroll to the translation, Prabhu, please, in the booth. Thank you. Daivirada Hare Krishna. Vignesh, thank you for coming.
Translation. Although fixed in his abode, the personality of Godhead is swifter than the mind and can overcome all others running. The powerful demigods cannot approach him. Although in one place he controls those who supply the air and rain, he surpasses all in excellence.
Prajakta Mataji, then you please do the purport, first paragraph.
Though the material speculation, even the greatest philosopher cannot know the Supreme Lord, who is the absolute personality of Godhead. He can be known only by his devotees through his mercy. In Brahma Samhita, it is stated that even if the non-devotee philosopher travels through the space and the speed of the wind or the mind of hundreds of millions of years, he will still find that the absolute truth is far away from him. The Brahma Samhita further describes that the absolute personality of Godhead has his transcendental abode known as Goloka, where he remains and engages his pastimes. Yet by his inconceivable potency, he can simultaneously reach every part of his creative energy. In the Vishnu Purana, his potencies are compared to the heat and the light that emanates from the fire. Although situated in one place, a fire can distribute its light and heat from some distance. Similarly, the absolute personality of Godhead, although fixed in his transcendental abode, can diffuse his different energies everywhere.
Thank you. So this particular verse actually can be confusing because it is having a little bit of anejadekam manaso javiyo. The Lord is fixed at one place, correct? Anejad means he's fixed at one place. And then it is also, if you go back to translation, please. Thank you. So he is fixed in his abode, yet he can overcome others that are running. And then it is also mentioned, although he is at one place, he controls those who supply air and rain. He surpasses all in excellence. And in purport, Srila Prabhupada writes that the very fact that even though you can run, but you cannot catch the Lord. And it might seem a little literally, it is somewhat, the mind tries to adjust. Where is God? Where am I? How can I run? How much can I run? And so on and so forth. But the answer here is that you cannot approach God through mental speculation. That is what is mentioned here. So the mind is used, the mind can run after the Lord. So mind can run every which way, yes or yes? Make sense? I mean, for me it runs all the time. I try to be concentrating on something, it thinks of something else. Maybe it's just me, you guys are all fixed. Yeah, it's like running here, there, every which way. You read the news, for some time it goes into, what is happening in Iran and Iraq, that war is happening. And then, sometimes you read news in India, hope my parents are okay there. The mind is constantly running every which way. But then when you exercise that running of mind behind the Supreme Lord, the Lord cannot be found, or Lord cannot be understood. And that is mentioned that I can, although, you can employ your mental speculation, you cannot understand Krishna. That is one thing. And the second aspect of it is that, let's do the paragraph number 2, because it's a little important. Sanket.
Yes, Prabhu. Although his energies are innumerable, they can be divided into 3 principal categories: the internal potency, the marginal potency, and the external potency. There are hundreds and millions of subheadings to each of these categories. The dominating demigods who are empowered to control and administer such natural phenomena as air, light, and rain are all classified within the marginal potency of the absolute person. Lesser living beings, including humans, also belong to the Lord's marginal potency. The material world is the creation of the Lord's external potency, and the spiritual sky, where the kingdom of God is situated, is the manifestation of his internal potency.
Thank you. The reason I wanted to do this paragraph is that Krishna has 3 types of energies. One is what is called the external energy, or in Sanskrit it is called Bahiranga Shakti. Bahiranga is external. And when you talk of external energy, then this material world that you see is the external energy of Krishna. The jivas, or we, Atma or the spirit soul, are marginal energies of Krishna. So from Bahiranga is external and Jiva is marginal, and it is called Tatastha. Tatastha Shakti. Tatastha Shakti means, Tatastha is literally means situated on the bank. A bank of a river or an ocean. You can either be on the land or you can be in the ocean. So the Atma is Tatastha or marginal, because the Atma can be either in the material world or in the spiritual world. You have that choice. You can go between both. And then the third energy of the Lord is called internal potency, or in Sanskrit it is called Antaranga, Antaranga Shakti. Means the internal potency of Krishna is found in spiritual world. It is mentioned that this material world that you see, unlimited in its variety and creation, is but 1/4 energy of the Lord. And his spiritual energy is 3/4. So that internal energy of the Lord is the spiritual worlds, the spiritual pastimes, the spiritual, everything about the Lord is spiritual, and that forms his internal potency. When the Lord performs different activities in the world, they are not of this world because they belong to his internal potency. And people might misunderstand it. One point I also want to add is, even though Krishna energies are spread everywhere, and he is spread with his energies, but he is still in that spiritual world, although fixed in one place. It is mentioned there. Anejadekam manasoja viyo. That he's there in the spiritual world, but at the same time his energy is spread all over this world. I'll give a crude example. In light of the present current situation, I'll change that example to something better. For example, a person, a CEO of a big, huge corporation, might be situated at his home for some reason. Maybe that person got bored of life playing golf or whatever, and don't get into those reasons. But he is somewhere situated at home. So everybody at office also is at home because that person is at home? No, everybody in the office is working as usual. So the energies of that particular person is still functioning even though that person is at home. So in the same vein, this is a very crude example. I want to add one. When you talk of Lord and his Shaktis, it's a very intricate, very involved subject matter. And I can give material examples, but usually they don't fully reflect the power of Krishna. For example, in the example that I gave, that person is in the home and that his energies are working at office or her energies are working at office, but that person can never pervade into the office. But Krishna, he can actually pervade his energies. I see that, oh, this Krishna is somewhere. No, he is in this bottle or in the atoms of this bottle or in this. He's spread everywhere. He's completely spread. In fact, Brahma Samhita said that he is spread in every atom. Every single atom he pervades. Then if he can pervade matter, then he can pervade spirit. So as atom, he's there in every atom. He's there in every heart or spirit soul as Paramatma. So he pervades everywhere. His energies are there. As I said, we have three energies. One is the internal, one is the marginal, one is the external. So external is all the material nature and everything. He's pervading that. Andantarastha paramanu chayantarastam. We can look up that verse. This is really nice verse, Brahma Samhita verse. I'll give ample time, Prabhu, so no problems. Let's go to 534. Brahma Samhita 534. That is, you can right click on that. If you, no, okay, yeah, that's fine. You can come down. All books, yes. Perfect, the black book in the middle. Correct? And let's go to Control F. Please do Control F. And then Atom. ATOM. Perfect. Kindly click on that. All right. So repeat after me. It's a beautiful verse to repeat. Ekopyasau rachayitum jagadandakotim yachaktirasti jagadandachayayadanta Andantarastha paramanu chayantarastam Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Translation, please. You come down.
He is an undifferentiated entity, as there is no distinction between potency and the possessor thereof. In his work of creation of millions of worlds, his potency remains inseparable. All the universes exist in him, and he is present in his fullness in every one of the atoms that are scattered throughout the universe at one and the same time. Such is the primeval Lord whom I adore.
There we go. So Krishna pervades his entire material universe, and everyone is present in his fullness in every atom. So we can see how Krishna and his energies are inseparable. When you say that, this is exactly the reason why Prahlad Maharaj, when he was challenged by his father Hiranyakashipu, where is your God? He is there everywhere. Is he there in this pillar? Prahlad Maharaj, yes, because he's pervading every aspect of this universe. There is no way you can actually say that he's not there. So when you have this idea of Krishna, it shouldn't mean to scare you, but to develop a sense of sanctity around you and the world around you. The modern world has become such a place where people are exploiting the resources thinking the world belongs to me. But when you have this awareness that this world belongs to Krishna, then environment, ecology, pollution, everything will be taken care of. But if you don't have that concept that this belongs to Krishna, then everything is kind of, a little bit difficult. I want to have a quick poll as we go through the next. Do you like this time better or 8:30 in the morning? All right, let's do that. Okay, who says 8:30 in the morning? That is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the rest? Yeah, raise your hands so I can count. 5, 6, 7, 8. Almost, it's a tie. All right.
Online also, Prabhuji.
Yes. Please, please show me online. Thank you. All right, who wants at 8:30 PST, which will be 10:30 wherever. All right. So, no, not me. I'm okay with any. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, 5. Okay, it's 8:30 in the morning. Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you for Mohit and Radhanam Pro. Okay, thank you. All right, we'll work on something. So here is the thing though. 8:30 in the morning is fresh. You can understand. It's more easy. I've had many years done at 1 o'clock, and it was a challenge to keep myself awake and others awake. It's naturally Sunday afternoon is like the time. But for those who stay a little far away and who want to attend Sunday Feast lecture, this time is actually priceless because they can come here at around 12:30. You can spend the rest of the day if you have children who have to study in the Sunday school. So there are a lot of advantages and pros and cons. So I'll keep that in mind as we kind of discuss. Or I can keep really both of you happy by having alternate class, but that will be super confusing. Oh, okay, this week, what is this? You just have one time and you go through it. It's okay. All right. Today we were forced to have at 1 o'clock because we had a session earlier on. All right, more questions. So this energy of Krishna and the Krishna, it's a very complicated subject. It is not that easy to understand. But if for those who can have simple faith, then they get it easily. And it's not, in one sense, it's not super complicated as well. Yeah. All right. Let's do the last paragraph. Let's see what else is there. The other thing in mantra 5 is we have to go to paragraph. There is one paragraph that's really important. Let's go to, thank you. In Bhagavad Gita 10:2. Next. So, okay, whoever, husband, wife, you decide. I don't want to get in between. It's the last place you want to get in between. Yeah, go ahead, Mata. In Bhagavad Gita.
In the Bhagavad Gita 10.2, the Lord says that not even the great Rishi and Suras can know him. And what to speak of the Asuras, for whom there is no question of understanding the ways of the Lord. This fourth mantra of Sri Upanishad very clearly suggests that the absolute truth is ultimately the absolute person. Otherwise, there would have been no need to mention so many details in support of his personal features.
So this is another point. Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy is that other sampradayas say that God has no form, God has no qualities, God has no variety, so on and so forth. But if God has no variety, then why are we discussing so much? Anejandamekam manasodhi, that God is fixed at one place. If God is spread everywhere, then how can you be fixed at one place? Or God is here. No, God is here, God is there, God is everywhere, because God is spread everywhere. But unless the God has a personal form, you cannot, the words become quite meaningless actually. And he can swiftly run others who are chasing him. It is mentioned that, somebody is following the Lord, he's running ahead. You cannot catch him. All these things don't have a sense unless God is a person. And Prabhupada is making that important point. Upanishads are usually not giving you direct answers. They are not, in Bhagavatam, it is mentioned that, for example, we have this famous verse, Barha Pidam Natavaravapu Karnayo Karnikaram. It goes at great lengths to describe Krishna's personal features. Barha Pidam Nata. He has a peacock feather. Very specific is mentioned. It's not like vague. So Upanishads don't give direct reference to Krishna. They give indirect reference to Krishna. So this is one of the verses where it is mentioned that God must be a person, otherwise why discuss so much of his personal features? Right? That is one aspect of this purport I wanted to highlight. Then we will do one more verse that is important. Because one of the questions that will be asked is this. If God pervades everything, if God pervades everyone, if God is there in my heart as Paramatma, then let God take me to the temple. Let me do bhakti. When He wants, I will do it. Till that time, because it's God, it's everywhere. Everything is His. In fact, it's easy to kind of say, it is He who has to make me. But we'll see what Srila Prabhupada has to say. If you come down a little bit, please, Prabhu, next person in line, please lead every part and parts.
Every part and parcel of the complete whole is endowed with some particular energy to act according to the Lord's will. When the part and parcel living entity forgets his particular activities under the Lord's will, he is considered to be in Maya, illusion. Thus, from the very beginning, Sri Ishopanishad wants us to be very careful to play the part designated for us by the Lord. This does not mean that the individual soul has no initiative of his own. Because he is part and parcel of the Lord, he must partake of the initiative of the Lord as well.
Can you please repeat that statement?
Because he is part and parcel of the Lord, he must partake of the initiative of the Lord as well. When a person properly utilizes his initiative or active nature with intelligence, understanding that everything is Lord's potency, he can revive his original consciousness, which was lost due to association with Maya, the external energy.
Thank you. One example I'll give. If a person, for example, is going on the ocean, right? And then you are, for some reason or other, your boat breaks or you are capsized and you are stuck in the ocean. Will you be like, I'm stuck in the ocean, it's okay, time will come? No, you are frantically doing everything to make sure that, you send out signals, for example, you call your radio, whatever, right? So in the same way, the Atma that is in this world is actually conditioned by material nature. because I've taken on, since time immemorial, I have taken on billions and billions and billions of bodies. And that same material nature of Krishna has been pushing me into this ocean of birth and death. Now, because of that situation, Krishna is saying, or Srila Prabhupada is mentioning here, that we have our initiative as well. It is not like we don't have our initiative. If we don't have initiative, then Krishna wouldn't have given the scriptures. Krishna wouldn't have given Bhagavad Gita as instruction. For example, he says in the Bhagavad Gita, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yudhyacha mayarpita mano buddhir mame vaishvasya samshaya. He says that, this, for those who are keeping track, it's Bhagavad Gita 8th chapter 7th verse. He says that always think of me and fight. In this, and with your mind and intelligence invested in me, you will come to me without fail. So that's clearly an instruction that Krishna gives to his devotees. And he gives those instructions, which means that we have the capacity to take that initiative. Right? So Ishopanishad says, now wake up. Now you are in this world. You've been long in this world since time immemorial, taking on so many bodies and so much of uncertainty and suffering. Now time has come to grab that initiative as a human form of life and go back home, back to Godhead. Don't feel that, you cannot have the initiative. In fact, the karma or destiny, which means that my destiny in this world is limited based on matter, based on my happiness and my distress. But there is no destiny as far as my spiritual progress goes. I can, based on my own application, usually there is a little bit in the sense my past activities can hold me back. And it requires an extra dedicated application to move past that conditioning. But Krishna is saying, oh no, you can only make 3% progress of spiritual life. So no, in this very life, you can actually solve all your problems. Right? So that initiative Jiva has. Matter, not so much. Material comforts, material prosperity, all those things, Krishna says, are already kind of, they are destined. Good or bad is going to come your way anyways. Make sense? So far, so good. And then we will round up this particular mantra with the last paragraph, which is all power obtained from the Lord. Actually, I will, okay. Usually I ask the devotees online to do it, but now you do, you read, sir. After that, you can go online for few devotees and then we'll come back. That way it will be nice.
All power is obtained from the Lord. Therefore, each particular power must be utilized to execute the will of the Lord and not otherwise. The Lord can be known by one who has adopted such a submissive service attitude. Perfect knowledge means knowing the Lord in all his features, knowing his potencies and knowing how these potencies work by his will. These matters are described by the Lord in Bhagavad Gita, the essence of all Upanishads.
Thank you. So here all power is obtained from the Lord. Therefore, each particular power must be utilized to execute the will of the Lord and not otherwise. And it's an example that is easily understood. A policeman or a cop, they have firearms, correct? And they obtain the firearms and they use it properly, then they are not punished, but they use it improperly, then there are consequences because that was not authorized. So it again goes back to Ishavasyam. Everything belongs to Krishna. Whatever is for mine, I will be happy with it, and rest belongs to God. Right? And then these matters are described in the Lord in Bhagavad Gita. In the next semester, we'll do Bhagavad Gita part 1, the entire from chapters 1 through chapter 9, and semester 3 will be chapter 10 through chapter 18. We cover all the verses of Gita. So far, so good? Any questions? Yes, Vaibhav, Anchita, and then Laksh.
Hare Krishna. So in the one purport, right, that in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, right, so great rishis and suras, they know the Lord, right? But asuras, what to talk about asuras? But if we look at the asuras, right, so they were worshipping the demigods. Right?
So if you if you read that, can you please read that again?
Okay. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that not even the great rishis and suras can know him. And what to speak of the asuras, for whom there is no question of understanding the ways of the Lord.
Okay, go ahead. No, but what is the question though?
Yeah, my question was like, when we say like, let's say if normal people, right? Yeah, someone is devoting to the, or he's like a more devotion, giving devotion to the demigods, like let's say Ganesha or Shiva or any, but eventually they divert to the Krishna, right? So why that thing doesn't happen to the asuras?
Because in the 16th chapter of Gita, Krishna mentions the divine and the demoniac natures. He says there are two types of being. One is the divine and one is the demoniac. The problem with the demoniac is they are stubborn in not accepting the authority of Krishna. They deliberately, willfully, obstinately say there is no God. I don't accept that God. But they only accept some power when they need it. So asuras worship the demigods because they need power. And in fact, they are so terrible that Bhasmasura, he worshipped Lord Shiva to get the boon that let me keep, whoever I keep my hand on in the head, they'll die. And then you know the story of, do you know the story? Yeah. Then, you know, when he got the powers, he said, let me test on you. I mean, I got the power from you and I want to kill you. That is the mentality of asuras. They know that they have no power, they need the power, but once they get the power, they misuse it. Then Lord Vishnu had to come and, you know, he said, yeah, Shiva usually lies. Are you sure? Lord Vishnu comes to save him because Bhasmasur says, I'm going to put, and he starts chasing Shiva, and Shiva takes shelter of Lord Vishnu, and then Lord Vishnu takes the form of a very small boy. And he says like, really? I heard Shiva cheats. He's a liar. I wouldn't believe this. Please, don't go to the world and proclaim these powers. People will laugh at you. Really? Yeah, you can. He's a liar. I'm telling you one thing, just put your hand on your own head, and then you'll realize the power. Nothing is there. And somehow bewildered by this, he puts and he dies. That's my point. Is that helpful? Okay. No, Anchita had raised her hand, and then Laksh. Then Vignesh.
My question was that after this Bhagavad Gita 10.2 paragraph, it says, although the individual parts and parcels of the Lord's marginal potency have all the symptoms of the Lord himself, they have limited spheres of activity and therefore all limited. The parts and parcels are never equal to the whole. Therefore, they cannot appreciate the Lord's full potency. And then I'm confused because the invocation that we read last class had said that all emanations from Him, such as this phenomenal world, are perfectly equipped as complete wholes. So it seems like they're saying the opposite thing, but it might not be.
Thank you. No, thank you. So, if I understand your question right, Anchita, that in this statement it is mentioned that the living entities cannot fully appreciate the Lord, or though they have share the same qualities of the Lord, correct? All right. And in the previous, you said that we are perfect and complete because we are coming from the Lord, correct? All right. So the jiva is perfect and complete in of itself. In fact, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that Ascharya, this particular verse is there in the 2nd chapter of Gita, where he says that Ascharya vat paschit kaschidenam, that it starts with that. He says that some look upon the soul as amazing, Some hear of the soul as amazing, and some speak of that soul as amazing, whereas some others cannot even know after by any means. So the soul is amazing and complete in itself. As in, if I am a self-realized person, then I am completely happy within myself. There is no need for extraneous happiness from material perspective. So the soul has the capacity to illuminate itself and illuminate others. That is the nature of the soul. But the two aspects of the soul is, the soul can never be equal to God. We have the same qualities of the Lord, but we are not the same quantity. Just if you go to the Pacific Ocean today, you take one drop of water from the Pacific Ocean and you taste it, it has the exact same composition as the entire Pacific Ocean. But in quantity, it is just a drop, and you see the Pacific Ocean never ending. You will get the idea that that is exactly Atma compared to Paramatma or God. So we have the same qualitative potency. And if there is no qualitative potency, if the soul and Bhagavan are not equal at certain level, there is no question of love. If they are completely disparate. So for example, you cannot love a table. Can I? The table will never love me back. Because there has to be certain platform of exchange of love. There has to be certain similarity. And that similarity is that in quality we are one with Krishna. Therefore we can exchange love with Krishna. But in quantity, Krishna is always supreme. And the soul can never be equal to him. Or the soul can never be as complete as Krishna. Because if the soul is there are two possibilities. One is, God becomes me when he comes to this world. Or I become God when I go there. Correct? The problem is, if God becomes me when he comes to this world, then why is he speaking Gita? Because he's same as you and me. What's the point in no? So when God comes here, he is God himself. He doesn't change. And when I go back to spiritual world, I become God. Well, if I go back to spiritual world, I become God, then why did I come to this world? Imagine one day, Prime Minister of India gets up in the morning and says that, I forget everything of my position, I'll go and stay in the prison as prisoner. Why would you do that? Krishna is Krishna. He says this world is Dukkhalayam and Sashvatam. I created this world. Why would the God become, why would I, supposed to be God, come to this world and forget myself? And then when I go back, I become God. It doesn't make sense. And the fact that I am and the problem is, that is true if I have the option of going back at any time I want. If God, he comes to this world, he takes the avatar, and then he winds up with the avatar, he goes back to spiritual world, there is no question of stopping him or preventing him from coming. Yes or yes? But try that. You cannot go back to spiritual world like that. You are stuck here. You are forced to stuck here. Then the question is, who is forcing me to get stuck here? Arey Baba, this world is a horrible place. The only thing you can do to get out of this world, and please don't try it at home ever, and not your friends, is by giving up your life. This world is bad. Let me give up. Hey, Baba, don't never do that. Because A, your problems are not going to get solved. B, till the lifespan has to be done, you will be having a subtle body, but you will be hovering in this world. You want to eat pizza, but because I don't have subtle body, I can't taste the pizza. The desire is there, but I cannot fulfill. Don't even try it. So then the question is, if I'm jammed in this world, who is jamming me in this world? Or what is this time that is forcing me to kind of become old? What is this destiny that is kind of pushing me through hard times? If I am a God, I should be able to prevent all these things. The very fact that I cannot prevent means that there is a higher power that is pushing me. Because I don't want it. Thing is, I don't want it, I'm getting pushed, means there is higher power. Makes sense? Especially this is really important to kind of tell your mind, and especially this world where there are so many theories, nah, you are as good as God. Yes, qualitatively I am as good as God. Quantitatively, not so much. It's a fact. Vignesh, and then, yeah, right? Oh, Laksh. Sorry, Laksh. Sorry. We'll go in that order.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, so you said that Krishna is present. It's said that Krishna is present in fullness in every atom. So then, doesn't this become an argument for those same people who you just mentioned that say that we are God, and who and how do we refute such arguments? You gave the example of if you're God, you can go back, but are there some other arguments we can also use?
I didn't get your question. Sorry. If you can rephrase it.
Yes. So Prabhu, you said that Krishna is, so it's said that Krishna is present in fullness in every atom.
Mm-hmm.
So doesn't that become an argument for people who say that we are God?
Are you present in every atom? Are you present in every atom? I'm taking a devil's advocate.
No.
Then you are not God. One thing. Second thing is this though. If I am God and I pervade every atom, what is my body made of? What is my body made of? Technically speaking, at the basic level. I can't even pervade my own body, and my body is getting deteriorated. I get old, my muscles are lost, my teeth are falling out, my eyesight is not there, my hair is big. Baba, I can't even pervade my own body. Then where is the question? Does that make sense? Yeah. So basically, when the reason is for devotees to understand, to hammer the point of Ishavasyam. When you say that everything belongs to God, maybe everything belongs to God, but God is somewhere else. Let me go steal. No. He is pervading every atom. He sees. So you can see how when we understand the totality of Krishna, then we come to the point there is no way not to worship Him. When I see something as distinct from God, but when I see this belongs to God, then where is the question of trying to grab it? Then Krishna says that for one who knows me more and more, then he'll become firm and strong, Dhrudhavrata. He'll become really strong in my worship. Because he knows Vasudeva Sarvamiti. Bahunam Janmana, Krishna says in the Gita, Bahunam Janmanamante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. And what is that Mahatma? Mahatma Namstu Mam Partha Daivim Prakriti Mashrita. So you can see how by knowing more about energies of Krishna, by knowing his all-pervasiveness, you will come to this conclusion, just worship Krishna, that's it. It's enough. Everything belongs to him. I have given up, I have exhausted, I have run out of options in terms of enjoying this world because it belongs to him. So let me worship him. But this doesn't happen overnight. This doesn't happen overnight. We understand Krishna, we read, and then we come to that point. Everything belongs to Krishna. If I'm trying to exploit somebody for my own thing, then I'll say, why should I exploit that person for my own benefit? Because tomorrow the roles will be reversed. Krishna is there sitting in my heart. A, I'm not this body, first of all. B, why do I exploit somebody to maintain this body when I have to come back to this world and be exploited? They forget it. Don't want it. So you can see how by seeing this whole world as part and as Krishna and Krishna pervading, you'll be like peace. You'll be at peace with the world. You'll know that I have nothing to do with this world. I don't need so much from this world. This world belongs to God. And more importantly, when things are going south, you'll realize God is there. He's pervading every atom. He's controlling this world. I don't need to worry so much. We should do what we need to do. That doesn't mean give up our initiative, give up our duty or whatever, something like that. I mean, think about it. Tomorrow, if the head of the state, I'm just sleeping every day, all day long. I'll play golf. I'll just, relax. Why? Why are you doing? Ishavasyamidam sarvam. Everything. That doesn't work. You have to do your duty. But the point is, you do the duty with awareness. Actually, it is Krishna who's the controller. I'm just merely doing my service to him. Whether I'm a president of this country or that country, or a prime minister of this country or that country, it doesn't matter. Krishna has given me this service, let me do it to take care of his people to the best of my ability. Helps? Yes. Vignesh, and then Sheetal. Then, Prabhu, your name? Rishi, thank you. No, we'll come back later, round number 2. And then we go online, sorry. Online also we'll ask questions. Yes?
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thanks,
Krishna.
Prabhu. I think I have a same question. So you were talking about Suras and Asuras attitude, right? So in that case, because I was reading Canto 8 in Bhagavatam and realizing how Bali Maharaj basically took over the kingdom of Indra. But Bali Maharaj, even though he did that, and he belongs to Asura clan with Shukracharya as his guru. But why do we consider him as one of the Mahajans of Vaishnavism? Meaning that, because he understands Krishna, he knows that, and that is why even Krishna personally said that, I will come to your kingdom and I will stay with you. And that's how things works. Then why even though he has that Asura mentality, how come he has the ability to understand Krishna?
Vignesh, why do we consider Indra and Brahma as Suras when they actually tried to kill Krishna? Or Brahma actually kidnapped the cowherd boys and the calves of Vrindavan. The idea there is the Suras and Asuras are a broad definition. It is not we categorize or bucket them that you are a Sura means you're perfect, you are a Asura means you're completely imperfect. These episodes in Bhagavatam show the fact the power of bhakti transcends your birth. Because Bali Maharaj was the grandson of Prahlad. Exactly. Because of that, his power to remember God is irrespective of your Sura or Asura background. And same is with Indra. Your power to forget Krishna is there in spite of you being a Sura, thinking, who is this boy who is actually dared to stop these people from doing my sacrifice? Let me go destroy him. Is that helpful? Bhakti transcends it. And the same God can delude you. So don't get puffed up thinking that I'm a Sura, I'm perfectly protected. And don't become hopeless that I am a Asura. It doesn't matter. Helpful? Okay. All right. Rishi, and then we'll go online. Oh, Sheetal. Thank you. Yes. Sheetal Mataji had a question, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Are we in this material world because of our desires? And if yes, then I get I remember the example of Sudama, who was proud of his renunciation, because one way we can reduce our desires is practicing renunciation. But then Sudama did that, then he was so proud that then Krishna kind of still wanted to fulfill his desire by giving him more. So if you are stuck by our desires here, will even practicing renunciation work?
So if I understand your question right, are we here because of our desires? And if yes, then how does renunciation help overcome the desires?
Will renunciation help? Because then Krishna will again, how he gave Sudama everything.
Oh, he might put us back into this world by giving a lot of opulences. I see. Then, okay. Why are we in this world? Desires true, but it is not just a simple thing. At the bottom line, it is my desire to enjoy this world, or I'm not completely ready for Krishna yet. Renunciation will not help you in this world to overcome your desires. Bhakti will help you. In fact, it is mentioned by performing pure devotional service to Krishna. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Jana Yatyashu Vairagyam Jnanam Cha Yadhaitukam. Bhagavatam says in the first canto, second chapter, that by performing pure unalloyed bhakti to Vasudeva, you will get two things. One is jnana and you will get vairagya, renunciation. And that renunciation is going to be lasting renunciation. It is not going to be temporary renunciation. Temporary renunciation is what is called smashan vairagya. Means that I take care of the last rites of a dear one, and then you get deep renunciation from this world. You'll be like, everything is just going to end in death. What's the point? This is like, I should not do this, I should not do that, and so on. But after some time, you go back to normal. Yes or yes? But Bhakti to Vasudeva actually gives you a sense of lasting renunciation because you find Krishna so beautifully attractive. You meditate on the form of Krishna and Radharani, and it's like so attractive that things of this world, they don't hold much charm. It's like, it's okay. Compared to lotus feet of Krishna, it's nothing much. And in fact, Bhagavatam is prayers after prayers. We can have one whole session of those prayers in Bhagavatam, where devotees who have experienced that taste for Krishna, they don't want anything of this world. They say, in exchange for the service of your lotus feet, I don't want anything. Even up to liberation, forget it. So you can see how the beauty of Krishna and the service to Krishna evokes those feelings in you. And that becomes a natural renunciation. Is that helpful? Thank you. Rishi, and then we'll go online. We have a lot of things to cover, but questions are important.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, I'm not sure if this got discussed. So I was just seeing that in the purport for the first mantra, Srila Prabhupada writes about how the energies of the Lord are divided into two, that is Paraprakriti, Aparaprakriti, as superior energy and inferior energy. And in this one we read about how they are divided into three, as tatastha and marginal and internal. So can you explain how we see these two in relation with each other, or are they orthogonal to each other?
So they overlap each other. So this is spiritual world, marginal world, and then material or the external world. The reason why para, appara comes is the marginal can overlap between these two. So then it becomes spiritual, it becomes material. Then Krishna says that those who are perfected beings, the jivas, are spiritual, but those who are not belong to the material world. And if you want, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna mentions in the 15th chapter, Dva imau purushau loke ksharas chakshara eva chak ksharaha sarvani bhutani kutastokshara uchyate. He says that there are two types of being. One is conditioned, one is perfect. Kshara and akshara. Akshara is infallible or perfect. Kshara is those who tend to fall down. Those who are perfect in one with the Lord, they are perfected beings or akshara. But those who are conditioned by this world, they are kshara. So then it becomes apara and para. Is that helpful? Thank you. Online, if you have any questions, then we can go to the next verse. All right. If there are no... Okay. Mantra 5. Kindly repeat after me. Tadejati tannai taddure tadvantike tadantarasya sarvasya tadu sarvasyasya bahyatah tadejati tannaijati taddure tadvantike tadantarasya sarvasya tadu sarvasyasya bahyatah. Online, who wants to read? Shamchandra Prabhu, we are there online. You can just do 4 or 5 devotees online, and then we can come back.
Yes, Prabhuji. Translation. The Supreme Lord walks and does not walk. He is far away, but he is very near as well. He is within everything and yet he is outside of everything.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Anybody else who wants to do the purport, first paragraph, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, Vidyatulta Mataji.
Yeah. Here is a description of some of the Supreme Lord's transcendental activities executed by his inconceivable potencies. The contradictions given here prove the inconceivable potencies of the Lord. He walks and he does not walk. Ordinarily, if someone can walk, it is illogical to say he cannot walk. But in reference to God, such contradiction simply serves to indicate his inconceivable power with our limited fund of knowledge. We cannot accommodate such contradictions, and therefore we conceive of the Lord in terms of our limited powers of understanding. For example, the impersonalist philosophers of the Mayavada school accept only the Lord's impersonal activities and reject his personal feature. But the members of the Bhagavata school, adopting the perfect conception of the Lord, accept his inconceivable potencies and thus understand that he is both personal and impersonal. The Bhagavatas know that without inconceivable potencies, there can be no meaning to the word Supreme Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Makes sense? So tan ejati, tan naijati. This verse has contradictions. How many contradictions are there in this verse? 1, 2, 3? 3. Okay. Number 1. Walks and does not walk. And third? There we go. So it's little difficult to conceive, correct? I mean, you can't, in this world, for example, I'll pick Daivi Radha, why not? Our boss comes and asks, okay, Daivi Radha, is the project complete? It is complete and not complete. Which is it? It is complete and not complete. That's all I can give. Or, somebody comes and says, is the preparation cooked? It is cooked and not cooked. Either it has to be this or that, right? In this material world, it has to, you cannot think of that. But Krishna, it's possible for him to be both. That's why it is said he can pervade this entire world and yet he can be in the spiritual world as well. Right? That possibility is there with Krishna. And because if God can never create anything evil, where is the evil in this world? It's a very interesting question. If you think about it, where is the evil in the world come from? The thing is, it is not that Krishna is the source of the evil or intent upon creating the evil. But the very fact is that he can give options for jivas to become evil and he quote unquote allows it. There is a certain amount of participation by the Lord. I'll give an example. If there is evil in this world and God is allowing evil in this world, which means he is evil by nature. If you are an atheist can use this argument. In fact, atheists do use this argument to explain why there is no God in this world. If God is there, how can he allow so much of evil and bad things happening in this world? But the thing is, Krishna can give you that, or Krishna is the cause of both, but he is not responsible or he is detached from both. And the way this world is created comes from him, but because of the misuse of our own tendencies, we have made this world not a great place to live. Because Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that I have created this world, I have created the demigods, I have created the human beings. You perform yajna and you satisfy the demigods, you will be perfectly happy. He gave that arrangement in Gita. Are we like, nope, I don't care about you. What gods, what demigods? This world belongs to me. I'll enjoy it. Krishna is saying then there are the consequences. Is the traffic police evil? No. They have created rules so that they have green lights, red lights, and so on and so forth, and post signs and this and that, speed limits. If you if you break them, then who's responsible? They already said, hey, this is what it is. If I say, hey, nonsense. Green means stop. Red means go. You'll be in trouble. Yes or yes? So that is the nature. Because Krishna can be in having both the natures. He is inconceivable. One another example is, oh, God is immoral. He has done things immoral. There is no question of immorality from Krishna. Every of his activities are pure and transcendental. And it is our perception that he is immoral, not that by nature. And you can say whatever you want to say, it doesn't change the purity and the beauty of his pastimes of Krishna. What we will do is, before we go to the next, okay, let's do quickly and then we'll take break. I know everybody's, if you want to stretch. Let's do one more paragraph. Because he is full of inconceivable potencies. Anybody from online? Come down. Yeah, because he is full of inconceivable potencies.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Can I read, Prabhu?
Yes, Mata.
Because he is full of inconceivable potencies, God can accept our service through any sort of medium, and he can convert his different potencies according to his own will. Non-believers argue either that the Lord cannot incarnate himself at all, or that if he does, he descends in the form of material energy. These arguments are nullified if we accept the existence of the Lord's inconceivable potencies. Then we will understand that even if the Lord appears before us in the form of material energy, it is quite possible for him to convert this energy into spiritual energy. Since the source of the energies is one and the same, the energies can be utilized according to the will of their source. For example, the Lord can appear in the form of the Archa Vigraha, or deity supposedly made of earth, stone, or wood. Deity forms, although engraved from wood, stone, or other matter, are not idols, as the iconoclast contend.
Thank you. So what is a deity made of in the temple? Now, iron, wood, stone, marble. Marble is inert, matter. So is the deities matter or are they spirit? But you can see the matter. So both. It is the inconceivable nature of Krishna that he can be in that particular form, yet we accept service. Because day in, day out, we dress him, we feed him, we do arti for him. How can stone accept? Stone has no feelings. But the idea is that Krishna can be both. In the form of matter, he is completely spiritual. And in the form of spirit, we are completely spiritual, but we are completely material at this point. Not me, but conditioned souls are completely material. He can convert that energy. Because he is the source of material and spiritual, he can convert matter into spirit and spirit into matter. Spirit into matter is usually conditioned jivas. You can see how, if you go, for example, at least human beings are capable. But if you go talk to animals and tell about Gita and all that stuff, and sing Hare Krishna, sit dog, sit with me, I'll chant Hare Krishna with me. They're like, what? It's completely dull matter. You can see how so Krishna has that potency. And it's inconceivable how he does it. And that's the reason people, especially in India, people have this, some not India, but all over the world, people have the atheistic mentality of people. They are the horrible because they deny the existence of God. How can you do that when Krishna is pervading everything? Questions? No, we'll complete. We don't have much time. Sorry. Bhakti Vrikshas, yes, you can ask questions. We have no... Those who come to Bhakti Vrikshas, who are kindly coming here, they know what I'm talking about. Right. There's one more important thing. Let's go to, come down, one more, and last member online can read in this connection. In this connection. Yes, thank you. This is important. Who knows, might come in exam. Be careful.
Can I read, Prabhu?
Yes,
Hare
please.
Krishna. In this connection, two words the revealed scriptures often apply to the Lord, Saguna with the qualities and Nirguna without qualities, are very important. The word Saguna does not imply that when the Lord appears with perceivable qualities, he must take on a material form and be subjected to the laws of material nature. For him, there is no difference between the material and spiritual energies because he is the source of all energies. As the controller of all energies, he cannot at time be under the influence as we are. The material energy works according to his direction, therefore, he can use that energy for his purposes without ever being influenced by any of the qualities of that energy. In this sense, he is nirguna, without qualities. Nor does the Lord become a formless entity at any time, for ultimately he is the eternal form, the primeval Lord. He is impersonal aspect, or Brahman effulgence, is but the glow of his personal rays, just as the sun rays are the glow of the sun god.
Thank you. Thank you. So Saguna means with qualities, Nirguna means without qualities. The Lord is both Saguna and Nirguna at the same time, because Saguna means he has qualities but spiritual qualities, and Nirguna means he doesn't have any material qualities. Guna means modes of nature, material nature. And material nature can bind or condition the living entities, but not God. One example I can give you is, there is this awesome magician who performs mind-boggling feats of illusion. And that person, he does his magic. And then once his magic is done, he runs into the audience and sits in the front row. Oh my God, how did I create it? It's mind-boggling. He'll never say that. Or she'll never say that. Yes or yes. They exactly know how it is done. So if an ordinary magician will not fall for his or her own trick, then why would Krishna, who is creator of this illusion, fall under that illusion and become completely ignorant like you and me? That's not possible. Is that helpful? And then, I mentioned earlier that with the same spirit, Krishna is Nirguna because he has no material qualities. And he is Saguna because guna means qualities, he has spiritual qualities. For example, form, his flute, his peacock feather, his garlands, his ankle bells, his smile, teeth. There are pages and pages and books glorified with his personal form. If they were like completely material, then there was no point in glorifying that, because they are anyway subject to destruction. What's the point in glorifying Krishna's form? All right, we will come back to online audience. We will go... All right, I think we are good. This is a nice purport, a big purport. Please read this. My request to you is, you read as you go along. It will take 10 minutes, 15 minutes for you to read every day. But read Prabhupada's books. And then the reason is you read and you digest, you pause. Because each of these purports, there is a lot to think about. If you read it, God is inconceivable. But then when you contemplate, how is he inconceivable? What does it mean to be inconceivable? And and then when you try to understand deeper, it will be a source of fascination. It will be a source of inspiration. And that qualities of Krishna that you remember, they will come back to you at the time of death. That is where, that is such a nice form. And that will come into your very being and soul, that you can take it. So take your time. Please read Prabhupada's books. And then the other thing is the discussions also will be more lively. Not that they are less lively, but they'll be more lively. All right, mantra 6 and mantra 7 we need to do. But before that, please take a break. We have, because afternoon means break. 2:17, let's come back at 2:20, please. We'll come back at 2:20. Stretch. You want to jog around the block for in 2.5 minutes, go be my guest. Don't try it at home. All right, thank you. Hare Krishna. Just 3 minutes and we'll be back. 2:20 p.m. CST, EST, PST. Hare Krishna. Right. Mantra 6 and 7 actually pivot a little bit, because after describing the greatness of Krishna, then the question next comes is who can approach, because a lot has been said how one cannot approach Krishna. For example, through mental speculation, and he cannot be approached by demigods who are running fast and so on and so forth. Then who can actually see God, or what are the qualifications? This is mentioned in this particular verse. Hare Krishna, welcome. Text. Please, somebody give them a mat. Thank you. No, they're in the back. A lot of them are there, so thank you. Kindly repeat after me. Mantra 6. Yastu sarvani bhutani atmanyevanupashyati sarvabhuteshu chatmanam tato na vijugupsate. Who is next to read? Priyanka, you get a chance? Okay. Priyanka, and then we can go like that. Prabhu, can you go down, please, for the translation? Thank you.
He who systematically sees everything in relation to the Supreme Lord, who sees all living entities as his parts and parcels, and who sees the Supreme Lord within everything, never hates anything or any being.
Thank you. Mataji, the first paragraph of the purport.
This is a description of the Bhagavata, the great personality, who sees everything in relation to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Lord's presence is realized in 3 stages. The Kanishta Adhikari is in the lowest stage of realization. He goes to a place of worship, such as a temple, church, or mosque, according to his religious faith, and worships there according to scriptural injunctions. Devotees in this stage consider the Lord to be present at the place of worship and nowhere else. They cannot ascertain who is in what position in devotional service, and nor can they tell who has realized the Supreme Lord. Such devotees follow the routine formulas and sometimes quarrel among themselves, considering one type of devotion better than another. The Kanishta Adhikaris are actually materialistic devotees who are simply trying to transcend the material boundary to reach the spiritual plane.
Thank you. Next paragraph, please.
Those who have attained the second stage of realization are called Madhyamadhikaris. These devotees observe the distinctions between four categories of being: the Supreme Lord, the devotees of the Lord, the innocent who have no knowledge of the Lord, and the atheists who have no faith in the Lord and hate those in devotional service. The Madhyamadhikari behaves differently towards these four classes of person. He adores the Lord, considering him the object of love. He makes friends with those who are in devotional service. He tries to awaken the dormant love of God in the hearts of the innocent, and he avoids the atheists who deride the very name of the Lord.
Thank you. Next.
Above the Madhyama Adhikari is the Uttama Adhikari, who sees everything in relation to the Supreme Lord. Such a devotee does not discriminate between an atheist and a theist, but sees everyone as part and parcel of God. He knows that there is no essential difference between a vastly learned Brahmana and a dog in the street, because both of them are part and parcel of the Lord, although they are engaged in different bodies on account of the different qualities of their activities in their previous lives. He sees that Brahmana, a particle of the Supreme Lord, has not misused his little independence given him by the Lord, and that the dog particle has misused his independence and is therefore being punished by the laws of the nature by being encaged in the form of a dog. Not considering the respective actions of Brahmana and the dog, the Uttama Adhikari tries to do good to both. Such a learned devotee is not misled by material bodies but is attracted by the spiritual spark within them.
Thank you. So the reason why we read these three paragraphs is because there are three kinds of adhikaris or the levels of bhakti. The first is Kanishta, which is called the beginner. In the beginning stage, the faith, so the person in the Kanishta level, they see God is existing only in temple and not outside or not with anywhere else. So based on that, their faith is materialistic, as in I approach God mainly with some material motive. I'm more of a materialistic person, and then God is there to kind of help me, whatever, either reduce my sins or give me stuff, whatever. And then that's it. One last thing about Kanishta is also mentioned in terms of faith. The faith of those who are beginning is soft and pliable. If there are counter arguments, if there are other things that change, my faith changes. So that is the beginner or the Kanishta. The Madhyama Adhikari is a little bit more advanced. The Madhyama Adhikari knows that that Krishna is the goal of life, and there are four types of people. One is that I love Krishna or I adore Krishna. Then I try to make friends with devotees. I'm very compassionate towards those who are ignorant, and I avoid those who are atheistic. Because the Madhyama Adhikari has to have that kind of discrimination. You cannot, if you are not on that level, then, or if you are on that level, one cannot think of more. And the Uttamadhikari, coming to that point, Uttamadhikari sees everything as belonging to Krishna. He doesn't make a difference between who is atheist and atheist, and knowing everybody is part and parcel of God. They are engaged in service of God. The atheists are engaged in service of God by their rebellion of God. And Krishna is kind of taking care anyways. So I'm not hating them. Here is the problem. Each of us has to recognize our position in devotional service. Is extremely critical. Because by doing that, two benefits are there. One benefit is that you will recognize who is on what level and respond accordingly. We will discuss this at length in our Nectar of Instruction. Verse 5 is where we spend a lot more time. But the overarching theme of this semester is to know more about these three types of devotees. Because we'll come back, we'll not spend too much time, but this question is important in terms of knowing the three types. What is the differences? In our society, in Krishna consciousness, or for that matter, who is advanced, who is not advanced, it is important to know so that we can associate appropriately. Devotee association, what do you mean devotee association? If you cannot know who is on what level, then how can you associate? And how much of value can you derive from that association? If a person is on the beginning stage, not that we judge, please, that is not the point. We don't judge, we discriminate for our own benefit, not for mocking, or not for insulting, or not for belittling others. No. You are Kanishta, I am Madhyam. That's not the purpose. The point is, I'm talking too much with this person, and I feel that, maybe that person is in the beginning stage. My talking shouldn't be too much. I mean, we can be friends, but when you reveal the heart or talk too much, then it might not help with my own bhakti. So that discrimination is needed. And it's a Uttam Adhikari, that person can help me propel my bhakti. So let me serve him or her more. So in the fifth verse of Nectar of Instruction, Rupa Goswami clearly gives, what is the difference? How do you even approach these people? What is the interaction? Now, for this book, who? And then in the fifth verse of Nectar of Instruction, we'll do what should be done to interact. What is the interaction level based on this? First is knowing, and the second thing is approaching, behaving, reciprocating, all those will come. So far, so good? Yeah. Yes. One question. The other thing is, Uttama Adhikari, the reason why we should know is, we shouldn't imitate one category or other. It's quite important. Because imitation will not help much. You will feel a little frustrated. One more thing. If a person, mind says, you are Uttama Adhikari. There's no difference between atheist and theist. But if you are on a Madhyama Adhikari platform, and if you think you are Uttama Adhikari, theist, atheist, what is it? He's my buddy, he's an atheist, but you know what? I'm not affected. Let's just go and, you'll be affected. You'll become an atheist. So be careful. So where I am, I should act accordingly. Because if you're on a Madhyama platform, you avoid atheists. If you're in a Kanishta platform, then how do I become Madhyama? How do I strengthen my faith in Krishna? So that is the important point. Priyanka.
Just to clarify, Prabhu, for Madhyamadhikaris, are they not aware of the knowledge that everyone has a spiritual spark within them? Or is it that they haven't developed so much faith so that they need to distinguish and discriminate between devotees and non-devotees?
Thank you. There are a few things. From the perspective of faith and knowledge, a Madhyama Adhikari has knowledge that Krishna is my goal of life, but he or she is not well versed in the scriptures to that extent like Uttama Adhikari. So the thing is, they see them as part and parcels of Krishna, but they don't feel they have the power to withstand that kind of negative association. And they don't have the scriptural knowledge to defeat. An Uttama Adhikari can use scriptures to defeat, if need be, atheists. But Madhyama Adhikari says, it's better I'm not there yet. Let my faith be strong, and you go your way, I'll go my way. It's better to be that, because I realize my own level of faith. Let me be that. The same goes with money. I mean, for Prabhupada, he was raising money left, right, and center for building temples all over the world, but it didn't touch him. But if you are a Kanishta or a Madhyama, then you'll be like, so much of money, only for Krishna. What about me? I'm feeling frustrated. Don't. So my capacity is not there. If I get that's another thing. If I get too much money, power, and prestige. Somebody was mentioning that Krishna gives. Krishna gave to Sudama, but Sudama never forgot Krishna. If there was a chance Sudama would forget Krishna, Krishna will not give. In fact, in 10th Canto, 88th chapter, 8th verse of Bhagavatam, it is mentioned that for who Krishna is especially merciful, he'll take away all the money, not even give. Whatever you have, he'll take it first. Then you will be like, Krishna, I don't have any money. Okay, you are my only soul and soul. And Krishna says, yes. Money was coming in between us, so I took away that money. Now it's just you and me. That is Krishna. So, is that helpful? Priyanka, is that helpful? Okay, Krishna, Laksh, then Mataji.
I had a question about reading scriptures. I feel like if someone is just reading Shastra without any guidance from a guru, that could lead to confusion. So wanted to get your thoughts on that in comparison to these three levels. And then in terms of association with atheists or impersonalists, is it just the presence of people around us, or is it also talking to them in exchange of ideas? Which one is more detrimental for bhakti?
I'm glad you asked. So when you say reading in association, without the association of a guru, usually it is that I learn Sanskrit, I'll take out books, I'll learn and be learned, I can quote shlokas. Usually that sense of false ego can quickly mislead you and misdirect you from the actual purpose. So if you are reading Prabhupada's books, for example, and I am not initiated, I don't have a guru, you are still reading with Prabhupada as your guru, as your Siksha guru. So it's still okay. So don't feel that because I am not initiated or not having a guru or not aspiring for a guru, then I cannot read. Please read, because Prabhupada is our guru in that sense. That is point number one. Point number two is that you asked about what again? I'm sorry, I forgot the question.
So association with atheists or impersonalists?
Yes. So I go to my work and I know that my boss is atheist, doesn't believe in God. Then, he comes and asks hey, what happened to the project? Gee, I saw your face. I shouldn't see my face now. I should go and take a dip in the Ganges. Seeing your face is so inauspicious in my life. Scripturally, it is correct. In fact, I'm not making it up. Jiva Goswami, in his Bhakti Sandarbha, he lists offenses. He says why the holy name of Krishna doesn't act immediately, because we commit offenses. I thought offenses means killing Brahmana, or eating, if you are a Brahmana, drinking alcohol, liquor, meat, whatever. I thought that is a kind of offense. He said even if you talk to a person who is against Vedic scriptures, that's an offense. He writes there. So strictly speaking, what I said to my boss is very true. There are two things wrong. Fortunately, my boss is a devotee. Second point is, it is unprofessional and horrible if you say like that. So the point is, how do you deal is, you have to deal in a professional way what you need to deal to kind of maintain it. Never share to them about, the problem is, if you know your boss is an atheist, never share about your spiritual activities. Never talk to them about God or Krishna. The reason is this. If they insult or blaspheme the Lord, that is an offense that you should not hear, but then you cannot do anything to refute. You will be left with a very heartburn, a very serious heartburn. So please don't. You associate to the point it is needed professionally and you are done with it. No, and the only thing you can do is offer a silent prayer. May Krishna help you. That's it. Silent. That is the key phrase. That's it. Because, in this country, even in India, everywhere you go, atheism is such a rampantly on rise in Kali Yuga. You cannot not avoid those. But you do the best you can to maintain your business, but at the same time, keep your faith intact, which is much more important. Is that helpful? Krishna. That applies to professional, family, medical. You meet lots of people in different areas, neighbors, community, whatever. Right? Okay. We'll online, if there are no questions, we'll go. Somebody else did raise a hand. Mataji, sorry. Yes. Mataji.
So I was thinking about these classifications of the devotees like Kanishka, Madhya and Uttama. Are there further classifications in these? I assume the one who are in the highest level of Uttama Adhikari, they are on the platform of liberation. So are there certain other classifications in these classifications?
So in Uttama Adhikari, there can be there can be jnanis, there can be vimukta jnanis, there can be bhaktas. So that, you hold that thought. When we come to Nectar of Instruction, verse 10 or 11, we'll come to that point.
Thank you, Prabhupada.
Thank you. Laksh, and then we'll move on to the next verse. We'll have.
Prabhu, you said that we should not imitate in a category that we are not as a devotee.
Correct.
But what about the fake it to make it philosophy, or the if you act in a certain way, or you can eventually convince?
I get the question. I don't usually give much thought to fake it till you make it. I mean, the reason is, even if you fake it to make it, you're a fake. Never be natural. Point one. Having said that, there is some credence to that thought. I don't want to completely, say no to that. For example, if you have to write exam or do whatever or do a project. For example, there is one very good example for fake it to make it. That is, you have to prepare for a speech. If you don't prepare for it, it shows your stage fright and your hesitation. You rehearse. Things like that have some credence. But by and large, in spiritual life, you can't. Spiritual life is evolving and growing from within, rather than external stimulus. Because you can act like somebody, but internally if the heart is not transformed, it actually doesn't help. Right? So the phrase I would change is shake it to make it. I mean, shake off your lethargy, shake off your anarthas, shake off your doubts. Shake it till you make it. Because those things actually will help you. So assume, even from the fake it till make it, if a person acts like that externally, is there a chance he or she will be internally with that? No. Because Uttama Adhikari is, actually you see Krishna everywhere. How much can you fake it? You cannot fake Krishna till you come, right? Because Uttama Adhikari is seeing everywhere Krishna and his energies. You have to come to that point. You have to come through organic growth. You have to come through sadhana. You have to, there will be anarthas that you have to overcome. Maya Devi will test you. Then, you slip, you fall, you get up you run, you slip, you fall, you get up, you run. Through that process, you become strength. And then the best part is, the most biggest danger with fake it till you make it is that you don't see Krishna as much. I have to be Uttama Adhikari role. It's did you ever hear of character actors? Please raise your hand if you hear character actors. So basic, okay, thank you. Somebody explain, Vignesh, or what is character actor?
They will just, live up to that character, and eventually they become that character. They will kind of like let's say if a person wants to act in a Ramayana drama as Ravana, he wants to develop the qualities of Ravana for time being.
Okay.
Eventually he'll stand in the mirror and he knows like how to have that shrill and how to walk like Ravana, eat like Ravana, speak like Ravana. Eventually he'll become Ravana in the drama.
But the thing is, after the drama is over, you won't be Ravana. It will be crazy to act like that. In fact, the next role calls you that you become Hanuman or Hanuman role. You'll say, I'll still be Ravan. It will be a little hard for the director to work with you, yes or yes. So the point I'm trying to make is, we cannot be character devotees. I am in that character. It has to come naturally. It has to evolve naturally. There is some credence, but in spiritual circles, it might be somewhat tough. And the other thing is, because, I'm Uttam Adhikari, I'm seeing everywhere. Well, will you go and hug a tiger? Or, see the rabbit infested with rabies and say, pick the rat and say, oh, kuchi, kuchi, kuchi. Or a cockroach? No. So the thing is, even the Uttama Adhikaris don't do that. They just see that they see that this cockroach's existence is a soul, and the Paramatma is sitting in that cockroach, and the cockroach is doing in its own way. I have nothing to do. So the vision changes, not the activities, first thing. Second thing is, it has to come naturally. It is better to accept Krishna, I am a fallen person. Please help me. Even the Uttama Adhikaris say, that's another point. Uttama Adhikaris never have the feeling that they are Uttama. They are the most fallen. So it is an external perspective from us that we have to also do it. So the moment you think I need to be, then you are still in the external consciousness, not in the internal consciousness of Uttama Adhikari. Is that helpful? All right. We'll do the last verse, and then we'll take questions. Text 7. Please read the purport. I missed a couple of points in the purport due to lack of time, but please read. This is really nice. And Srila Prabhupada actually says, Laksh, you know what? The very next verse, Prabhupada writes that those who imitate an Uttama Adhikari by flaunting a sense of oneness or fellowship, but who behave on the bodily platform are actually false philanthropists. So the conception of universal brotherhood must be learned from a Uttama Adhikari, not from a foolish person. So you can see how Prabhupada also is like, he's not great on that idea. All right, we'll do the last verse, and then we'll stop here. One last point is Anupashyati. Anupashyati is Eva Anupashyati is there. Anupashyati means seeing through the eyes of scriptures. When I see, I see. No, you don't see. You see through the knowledge of scriptures. You see through the knowledge of the previous acharyas. So that is, Pashyati means to see. Anupashyati means seeing by following something. And Prabhupada writes in the purport to kind of follow the dictates of the scriptures. Anupashyati. And the next verse also has the same thing. Let's do mantra 7. Prabhu, thank you. We'll go back. Mantra 7 is, kindly repeat after me. Yasmin sarvani bhutani Atmaiva bhudvijanataha Tatra ko moha ka shoka Ekatvam anupashyata. Who has yes.
One who always sees all living entities as spiritual sparks, in quality one with the Lord, becomes a true knower of things. What then can be illusion or anxiety for him?
Okay. Purport? First paragraph.
Except for the Madhyama Adhikari and Uttama Adhikari discussed above, no one can correctly see the spiritual position of a living being. The living entities are qualitatively one with the Supreme Lord, just as the sparks of a fire are qualitatively one with the fire. Yet sparks are not fire as far as quantity is concerned. For the quantity of heat and light present in the sparks is not equal to that in fire. The Mahabhagavata, the great devotees, sees oneness in the sense that he sees everything as the energy of the Supreme Lord. Since there is no difference between the energy and the energetic, there is the sense of oneness. Although from the analytical point of view, heat and light are different from fire, there is no meaning to the word fire without heat and light. In this synthesis, therefore, heat, light, and fire are the same.
Thank you. Anchita, did you get a chance to read? Please do the next paragraph, please.
In this mantra, the words
Ekatvam anupashyataha
indicate that one should see the unity of all living entities from the viewpoint of the revealed scriptures. The individual sparks of the Supreme Whole, the Lord, possess almost 80% of the known qualities of the whole, but they are not quantitatively equal to the Supreme Lord. These qualities are present in minute quantity, for the living entity is but a minute part and parcel of the Supreme Whole. To use another example, the quantity of salt present in a drop is never comparable to the quantity of salt present in the complete ocean, but the salt present in the drop is qualitatively equal in chemical composition to all the salt present in the ocean. If the individual living being were equal to the Supreme Lord both qualitatively and quantitatively, there would be no question of his being under the influence of the material energy. In the previous mantras, it has already been discussed that no living being, not even the powerful demigods, can surpass the Supreme Being in any respect. Therefore, Ekatvam does not mean that a living being is equal in all respects to the Supreme Lord. It does, however, indicate that in a broader sense, there is one interest, just as in family the interest of all members is one, or in a nation the national interest is one, although there are many different individual citizens. Since the living entities are all members of the same Supreme Family, their interest and that of the Supreme Being are not different. Every living being is the son of the Supreme Being, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita. All living creatures throughout the universe, including birds, reptiles, ants, aquatics, trees, and so on, are emanations of the marginal potency of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, all of them belong to the family of the Supreme Being. There is no clash of interest.
Makes sense? Ekatvam doesn't mean that God and jivas are the same, or they are quantitatively the same. They are different. The first paragraph, I wanted to mention something. Please remember the examples. Examples are good to help understand and to tell others as well. And also, all right. Next paragraph, please, somebody who didn't get a chance to read. Go for it. Why not?
The spiritual entities are meant for enjoyment, as stated in the Vedanta Sutra, Anandamayo Bhyasat. By nature and constitution, every living being, including the Supreme Lord, and each of his parts and parcels is meant for eternal enjoyment. The living beings who are engaged in the material tabernacle are constantly seeking enjoyment, but they are seeking it on the wrong platform. Apart from the material platform is the spiritual platform where the Supreme Being enjoys himself with his innumerable associates. On that platform, there is no trace of material qualities, and therefore that platform is called Nirguna. On the Nirguna platform, there is never a clash over the object of enjoyment. Here in the material world, there is always a clash between different individual beings because here the proper center of enjoyment is missed. The real center of enjoyment is the Supreme Lord, who is the center of the sublime and spiritual rasa dance. We are all meant to join him and enjoy life with one transcendental interest and without any clash. That is the highest platform of spiritual interest, and as soon as one realizes this perfect form of oneness, there can be no question of illusion, moha, or lamentation, shoka.
Thank you. So, when we pursue spiritual life, it's not we want to punish ourselves. We are low self-esteem people and we just want to beat up ourselves so that, we feel good. That's not the purpose. The purpose is we are seeking the highest enjoyment. There is a realization that whatever the world is offering is not sufficient and I need more. And that is just the nature of this world. Anybody can practically experience it. That there is always a certain amount of regret, buyer's remorse, whatever you want to call it, with whatever acquisition is done. Then I think I need to chase the next big thing to make me happy. But you realize that this is an endless effort. So in the path of spirituality, I want to be unlimitedly happy because I am Atma or a spirit soul. I'll give one example. It's a graphic example, but it'll stick in your mind. For example, you want to enjoy pizza. So what I do is, there is the wall. I hang the pizza slice from the roof through a thread next to the wall. So you can see this is the wall and this is the pizza slice. Then I take a light and I shine it on the pizza. The shadow of the pizza slice is on the wall. Please eat the shadow. Will you be happy? The nature of enjoyment in this world is exactly like soul eating the shadow. Because then you'll never feel happy. Because the idea is I desire to enjoy pizza, but I'm enjoying in the wrong place by trying to grab the shadow or enjoy the shadow rather than the actual pizza. Because I am Atma or spirit soul, I want to seek unlimited enjoyment with God. And that is the purpose. That is the whole idea. And that Krishna mentions or Bhagavatam mentions, that gives complete satisfaction to the soul. I am seeking for complete happiness. And Bhagavatam has prayers that the devotees who experience that happiness, they want nothing else. That's it. This is what I've been looking for birth after birth. And this is what gives me the highest happiness. And that is why we are here. We are not here to punish ourselves or to feel bad or to, more importantly, feel superior to others or so on and so forth. We are here for the highest happiness. Please read purports more. I'll take questions because we do have 5 to 10 to 15 minutes. So we'll take more questions. One of the questions I got during the break, and probably it's important for all of you, is do I need to remember all the shlokas or memorize all the shlokas in the Ishopanishad? The answer is an emphatic no. There are list of shlokas that we sent on the Bhakti Sastri WhatsApp group. Only those shlokas you need to memorize, and in the exam you will get shlokas only from the set of those shlokas. One more point about shlokas. If I can't remember, if I don't need remember, then at least paraphrase the English translation. Usually shlokas and the translation come for 5 marks. Sanskrit shlokas carry 2.5 marks. And then the English translation or the meaning will carry 2.5 marks. So please at least write the English translation. Don't give up saying, I don't know Sanskrit, so I'm done. No, please at least write. That's the purpose. It's not like we are testing your Sanskrit knowledge or your memory power. The goal is, how can I assimilate this knowledge in whatever language I'm comfortable with? Make sense? Yeah, I'll take questions. Okay, Sheetal Mataji. And let me go online first. Poor fellows. Online we can you show me, Prabhu? Online Zoom, please. Thank you. Online there are no questions. Okay, Sheetal Mataji, you can go.
Hare Krishna. In exam, if we write like shlokas in like Devanagari Lipi, is it like acceptable?
Yes. And if you are comfortable with your own language, you can write it, but I'll try to find the translators for the same. If I know few languages, if I can check on my own, it's fine, otherwise we'll. The problem is this though, you write it in the soft copy. So you need to have a keyboard also, just saying. Yeah, all the exams are online. But feel free to write it on the piece of paper and take a snapshot and send it to me. No, don't worry. Yes, Prabhu, and then Laksh. Online, yes. Online, can you tell me the name of Sham? Sham Kirtan Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Prabhu. I was just curious about the completion of homework and like last week you said to read the introduction to the Sri Upanishad, and I was just curious how we turn that in or at least show completion, things like that. I know I asked you earlier, like the other week, but yeah. Thank you. Hare Krishna Baba.
Sham Kirtan Prabhu, thank you. He joins from up north in Orinda or Lafayette or someplace. Thank you, Sham Kirtan Prabhu. So homework will be, the homework when I said this is you read it at home. It was not necessarily I'll be testing or quizzing on that. We have 3 homeworks for this entire semester. Those homeworks will be coming in the form of a Google spreadsheet or something like that. And then please submit it within the due time. You will get homeworks are open book and they carry 10 marks. So 3 homeworks, 30 marks. Exam is for 70 marks. So get 35, 50% from exam and then you'll pass. We are making it very difficult to fail.
Really, you are so merciful, Prabhuji.
No, it's just that you're all reading Srila Prabhupada's books and you're desirous to read and you want to relish more. This is my opportunity to serve you, that's all. Yes. Thank you.
Really, because of your enthusiasm, really we are reading Prabhu. So really we are getting the nectar. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shamchandra Prabhu. Thank you for your kind words. I just hope to serve all of you. More questions? All right. Okay, 3 questions. Okay, let's start with Pranav. Pranav, and then Prabhu, and then Laksh. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare
My
Krishna.
question is related little bit with kind of fake it to make it question from before. I remembered the verse from Bhagavad Gita where Krishna says, if you control your senses but you haven't really gotten rid of your desire, you are mithyachari. So my question is like, do we wait until we get rid of the desire and then act like that? Or little bit like you keep on acting that way, and in doing that you also get rid of the desire. But when you are doing that, so while in the process, like the process of anartha nivritti, for example, we haven't gotten rid of those anarthas.
Keep it close.
Yeah, sorry. We haven't gotten rid of the anarthas, but we are trying. But then that verse seems to say that then we are mithyachari in that process, because we haven't gotten rid of the anarthas, but we are trying to like act as if we are not trying to not engage with those things.
So if I understand your question right, Krishna says that those who suppress their desires, is that what you use the mithyachara verse?
Yeah, so karma indriyani
Yes, okay.
manasa smarantu. You're thinking about it in the mind, but you're not acting on it. So you know those are anarthas, so you're not acting, but your mind is still attached to some material desires. You're trying to get rid of that anarthas, but you haven't gotten rid yet. So in that phase, you're kind of acting like mithyachari, or like acting like faking till you're making it. Right.
So for those, did everybody understand the context of the third chapter? Okay. In third chapter, Krishna says, Arjuna asked the question that why are you engaging me in this ghastly warfare if you think intelligence is better than action? And Krishna starts expanding on that. He says it is better to act than to remain a pretender by having those desires sitting in the heart. Means it is better to act and do your duty rather than not perform your duty and still be mentally attached. So Karma Yoga, that whole concept is little different in terms of why Krishna is mentioning it. He never said you act on your illicit desires. He said you have to do your duty. Don't abstain from doing your duty. That was the context in the Karma Yoga chapter. But licit or illicit desires have to be overcome through process of either Karma Yoga or Bhakti Yoga. I mean, in Bhakti Yoga, Krishna helps us by kind of saying, Apichet Sujaracharo. Now, take that verse and then look up verse 930. Today is your homework for that. Go to Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse 30. And then you will realize that Krishna is saying that there is a whole other context with that. The two are, you are conflating two ideas which are little disparate. There Krishna is saying you do your duty and don't be a pretender that I will not do my duty but I am attached to the sense objects. And the anarthas or the unwanted things are something we overcome through process of Bhakti Yoga. Is that helpful? All right. Next, Vaibhav, and then Laksh. And then Prabhu also asked. Yes. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So I have a question regarding the Kanishtadhikari, Madhyamadhikari, and Uttamadhikari. So what is the prime criteria which distinguish? Is it the behavior, the way they act, or it is the scriptural knowledge they have?
It's not a prime characteristic. One of the two prime characteristics or three prime characteristics is faith. The faith of Kanishta is weak, can be changed, can be molded. The faith of Madhyama is strong, but lacking in scriptural strength or scriptural awareness. Uttamas is ultra strong, and then they have strong scriptural backing as well. So those are the two things. The other things will be seeing the world. seeing the world around them. Uttama sees everything belonging to Krishna, Madhyama makes the discrimination, Kanishta is much more into the material realms. Is that helpful? Yeah, but hold that thought. We have plenty of discussion more to come when we go into Nectar of Instruction on that.
Yeah.
And this topic, please take some time to invest. Who knows? Might come in exam. All right, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, I have a question regarding this mantra 4, where it is written that every part and parcel of the complete whole is endowed with some particular energy to act according to the Lord's will. And then we say that we are controlled by the 3 modes of material nature. So how is it that, meaning when we are talking about here the particular energy, is it like every one of the individual is given a particular mode in terms of what they have accumulated from the past lives and they act in that, or how do we understand?
So there are 2 aspects to it. One is a spiritual and one is material. Spiritually, we have, everybody shares a unique relationship with Krishna. Materially is that I have my duty in this world. Everybody, Krishna has ordained me to do this particular duty. Let me do that as well. So using that aspect and bhakti to overcome my material situation, that is what is meant there.
Okay.
Because Krishna says to Arjuna, Arjuna, you are refusing to fight out of your false ego. But impelled by your own nature, you will act nevertheless. So Krishna has said, this is your duty, I have given you this duty, you fight. So there are 2 aspects. The spiritual is a little more esoteric, but materially at least that is the aspect. Is that helpful?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
All right. Hare Krishna. Laksh.
Prabhu, how do we develop the spiritual vision to see God in every atom or every person as the Uttama Adhikari does?
By advancing in bhakti. To the point that you see the verse is Bahunam Janmana Mante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate Vasudeva. Actually, though jnanis, they take many births to come to that point. But those who surrender to Krishna and they advance in that path, eventually they will just see everything belonging to Krishna. And after a stage, they just see only Krishna and his beautiful form, or their Ishtadev and their beautiful form. So it is a matter of advancement in spiritual life. Is that helpful? Questions? More? If there are no questions, I'm so grateful to each and every one of you, including the online audience, that you participating in this. Please do give me feedback. Please do say, if things are working well, things are not working well. You don't need to put it in the WhatsApp group if you are too shy to put everything in the open. But you can always reach out to me and tell me how I can do better to help you all. And I pray that each and every one of you get the taste to read Srila Prabhupada's books and make it not only for the Bhakti Sastri, but a lifelong practice. To read Prabhupada's books and go back home, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu. Before you go, one last point. So, there is a guide that is written by Gauranga Darshan Prabhu called Ishopanishad Subodhini. It's like a cliff notes for those who want to take a look at it. And then there is the small book translated by Bhanu Maharaj, Ishopanishad, that is, the commentaries are by Madhvacharya, Vedanta Deshika, Baladev Vidyabhushan and Bhakti Vinod Thakur. There's another small booklet for those who want to. And then if you want to have any Sanskrit kind of questions, which is too deep, I have Rajajivan here, or Sri Krishna Chaitanya, who can go and ask them. Both the Prabhus are familiar. All right. Thank you very much. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Gaura Bhaktavan ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki